A person's greatness is not decided by their money, their background, or their luck. It is decided by their thinking. Many successful people like Elon Musk, Steve Jobs, and Jeff Bezos changed the world because they believed in their ideas. Even Napoleon Hill once wrote in his famous book, Think and Grow Rich, "Whatever the mind can conceive and believe, it can achieve." But if that is true, why do so many people fail? Why do some people remain stuck in the same situation while others rise from nothing and become successful? Today's story will answer that question. And if you enjoy motivational stories like this, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to SpeakStoryAI. Many years ago, in a busy town market, there lived a poor beggar. Every day, he sat beside the road asking people for money. Some people ignored him completely. Some people gave him a small coin, but most people simply walked past him without even looking. Near that same road lived a small, playful monkey. The monkey had no owner and spent its days jumping around the market. Interestingly, people loved the monkey. Whenever it made funny movements or playful tricks, people laughed happily. They gave the monkey bananas, bread, and sometimes other food. The beggar watched this every day and felt confused. I asked people for help, he thought, yet they ignore me, yet they happily feed this monkey. One afternoon, a wise traveler walked through the market. The beggar quickly stretched his hand. "Sir, please give me some money." But instead of giving him money, the traveler asked a strange question. "Tell me, what do you give people?" The beggar looked confused. "Sir, I'm just a beggar. I have nothing to give." The traveler gently pointed toward the monkey playing nearby. "Look at that monkey," he said. "It gives people laughter, and in return, people give it food." Then the traveler said something powerful. "In this world, people reward value. If you want to receive something, you must first learn to give something." After saying this, the traveler continued walking down the road. But the beggar couldn't stop thinking about those words. That night, he kept repeating them in his mind. If you want to receive, first learn to give. The next morning, while sitting beside the road, he noticed beautiful wildflowers growing nearby. Suddenly, an idea came to his mind. He walked over, picked a few flowers, and returned to his place. Now, whenever someone gave him a coin, he smiled and gave them a flower in return. At first, people were surprised, but then something interesting started happening. People began smiling when they received the flowers. Some even gave him more money than before. Days passed, and the beggar noticed something important. Whenever he had flowers, people happily stopped to help him. But whenever he ran out of flowers, fewer people gave him money. At that moment, he finally understood the truth. People don't just give money out of pity, they reward value. One day, the same traveler returned to the market. This time, the beggar stood up and gave him a beautiful flower. The traveler smiled and handed him some money. Then he said, "Now you are not a beggar anymore. You are a businessman." Those words changed the beggar's life forever. For the first time in his life, he saw himself differently. He wasn't helpless. He was someone who could create value. That very day, he made a bold decision. He left the roadside and started selling flowers in the market. 6 months later, the traveler returned to the same town. But this time, he saw a small flower shop near the market. The shop owner greeted him warmly. The traveler looked carefully and suddenly recognized him. "You were the beggar!" The man laughed and said, "Yes, but not anymore. Now I run this flower shop, and my business is growing every day." The traveler smiled proudly and asked, "What changed your life?" The former beggar replied, "You taught me the biggest secret of success. In life, we receive only when we give." Remember this lesson. Your future is not decided by your situation. It is decided by your thinking. If you believe you are small, you will remain small. But if you discover your value, your life can completely change. If this story inspired you, like the video, comment your lesson below, and subscribe to SpeakStoryAI for more powerful stories. See you in the next story.